What's up, crew? Welcome to another video. Doing something a little bit different. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, completely honest. I don't even know if my mic is good. I don't even know if my camera is good. I don't know if the streaming is good. Just lost my pop-up chat, so I have no idea who's joining. But the way I'm going to do this right now is I'm going to record this almost like a vlog and sort of just update you really quickly. And then we'll get into the live section where I'll grab the questions that anyone has or start a discussion. I titled this the divisive title, "The Problem with Not CrossFit," and that's one of the videos that got me a ton of views. Obviously, poking at one of the guys who sort of dove in headfirst to try to call out some of the things that CrossFit does, which some of the stuff I agree with, and especially after hearing a lot of other people's point of views, I agree with a little bit more. But before we get there, I wanted to provide a little bit of an update on the channel. A lot of you know I'm sort of getting back into the daily vlogging. This live session is today's vlog, and I'm going to try to do this every once in a while, maybe once a week, just to see how it goes. Maybe turn it into a podcast style thing where I bring people in to talk, or it'll be just me discussing a topic. Today it's just an update. In the future there might be updates as well for this type of video. We'll mix it up. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what you guys want. We'll see what feels good for me, because the only thing I can do is try to provide the best potential content, and if doing this isn't the best, or doing a certain way of this isn't the best, then I won't do it. But moving on, since we've been talking too much and I'm definitely not going to be editing this, some updates. This is the first week back trying to get into the daily grind, and let me tell you, it's definitely a little bit of a struggle. Not as bad as I have had prior to the new year, where I thought that I could get back into daily vlogging. I'd record something on a Monday, and then on a Tuesday I'd just completely veg out and forget about it all until Friday and start to edit and upload stuff. So this week has been a lot better. Got something on Monday, even though it was just a row in the garage. That's how I started in the beginning. When I did vlog number 1 back in 2015, October, I just grabbed my phone and I said, you know what, this is what I'm going to try to do, and we'll see how far we can take it. And it went 194 straight episodes, almost. I mean, I recorded 2 episodes, and there was like the lost episodes before I got sick. And then it's just been a constant struggle trying to get back into that. So I think I'm to a point where I feel like I can at least record every day, and it's just a matter of finding the right amount, the right window of time, and getting up early enough to edit that video, because that is always the real struggle. If any of you have ever tried vlogging or uploading consistently, the easy part is picking up the camera, to be honest. I could record the whole entire day and have almost zero issue recording. It's getting it all together the next day in a timely manner without eating up most of your day, which a lot of the top vloggers, a lot of the top content providers have editors, which, hey, maybe one day we'll get to that point and it'd be pretty awesome. Definitely want to try in the summer to grab some college students or even high school students, if they're ready to do it, to edit for me and possibly shoot for me at some point as I don't know, it sounds stupid to call it an internship, but that's what it pretty much would be, is its experience. So that's sort of an update to the channel. I don't know if that's a tangent, but again, I'm not going to get to edit this, so this is going to be kind of interesting. But we've only been going for about 4 minutes, so we're good. Another update, I haven't really started ketogenic. Sarah and I have been going sort of back and forth about whether or not we want to try it. We listened to a couple podcasts on the way down to Los Angeles, and while in theory it sounds like a great diet, there's a lot of potential negatives, and obviously it still takes trying it before actually forming a full opinion on it. And I think in a lot of the cases the podcasters are talking about the extremes of ketogenic. If you're going lifelong lifestyle ketogenic, it could be bad for the liver, bad for certain parts of your body. And they're talking from a science point of view, not from a, I'm a vegan, so ketogenic is bad, or whatever the case might be. They're not in the bucket. They are scientists trying to prove that ketogenic is part of that fad diet sort of thing, and the real system is just eating proper macronutrients in the amounts that you're supposed to. So I still think I want to try it, because it sounds like the quickest way for me to drop weight fast. But then again, maybe I just need to clean up my diet and learn to, deal with it during the day versus trying to go to the extreme of high fat, middle protein, and almost no carbs throughout the day. Because let's be honest, carbs are really good. So diet Thank you, Asia Barto. I've got that push press timer going for try to keep me on track so I don't go for too long, because I don't want this part to be more than 10 minutes. Which I think I'm going to wrap up right now as far as the vlogish sort of part, and then we'll get into if there's anyone even watching. I have no idea if anyone's watching. Future of the content. I think the first 3 days starting this year was not what I would want to produce. And I was having a conversation with Steven about how it's pretty difficult to get the creative footage that I want when I'm shooting for myself, especially when you're working out. If you're you're a vlogger that, you know, is constantly doing something different and you can use your creative ability to shoot what you're doing, that's awesome. But typically in a workout, you cannot do that. That's why you see maybe only three, like today's upload was only 3 different camera angles on my thrusters and burpees. And I ended up, you know, eating some of my time for the workout to do that. And I will definitely be trying to get more unique footage, which is my favorite thing to do, and that's when I throw on my 50mm lens and I put the camera in a way that makes it look a little more cinematic, dramatic, or whatever terms you want to use, and mix that in with the type of footage that I've been getting for the last 3 days, so that it's, you know, there's a lot of creative aspect to it, but then there's also a lot of real, just raw working out, because I know that's a lot of you probably enjoy most, is watching, you know, somebody work out, seeing what types of things I do or others do in the fitness world to get through a workout, and you may or may not be able to see that through a very creative shot footage. So I'm definitely going to keep that mixed up, and as I've said before, I really want to sit down and do a couple different types of videos, one being you know, the 5 best ways to enhance your warm-ups. There will be technique videos for sure, because the more I think about it, the reason why there's so much stigma around CrossFit moves is because the only way you can learn that CrossFit move is if you go to a CrossFit gym, and most of the people who don't like those moves will never step foot into a CrossFit gym. And if they do, their first impression is tainted because they already have a predisposed image of what CrossFit's going to be, and they don't like it. And I'm not going to label that with everybody. Not everybody's the same. That's just, you know, a generalization on my part and an assumption. But my goal is to hopefully come out with a series of videos that shows the proper kipping technique for kipping pull-ups, and why it is still, or kipping toes to bars and pull-ups, whichever one, and why they both still fall under the categories of toes to bars and pull-ups. Being that you still hit certain extensions, you still are hanging from the bar with fully extended elbows, and that your chin passes over the bar, and that the momentum doesn't necessarily take away from the pulling up part. It only assists in that motion. So a lot of people have this misconception that a kipping pull-up completely takes away the work that a pull-up initially does and the benefits, but really you still get just as sore. It takes a few more reps to get to that soreness level that you would from a strict pull-up. So I'm gonna cut it off there. There's only a minute and a half left for my 10-minute window that I gave myself, but I hope that was not too crazy of an information overload. You know, I feel good about the daily vlogging, and I definitely want to keep going, and I like this idea of sitting down and doing some live stuff here and there. My diet is still not in check, but it's getting there. Waking up and making breakfast every morning. Trying to go to Whole Foods for a salad, even though it breaks the bank. And as I figure out whether or not I want to actually try ketogenic, or if Sarah and I are just going to focus on a zone clean diet, it'll get to that point at sometime soon. And then in the future, the videos, providing the content, I want to do more value add videos for you guys to share and learn from what I might know, and maybe we can open up more discussion about why CrossFit's not the devil as a lot of people make it. So now I'm gonna bring it on down to Almaville. Bring it on down to Almaville. But first, let me end this really quickly, and I'm gonna do this in the future. Kind of making it weird right now because it's the first time, but in the future when I do live videos, I'm going to do this vlog introduction first so that I can update the world you guys on what's going on, and then I'm going to end it so that in post, if I don't feel like the live section is really valuable, I can cut it out and make my video a normal 10 to 15 minutes. So thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new, subscribe. If you're not new, hit that like button. And if you'd like to file a complaint or send some positive vibes, leave a comment. And until tomorrow, I will see you later, crew. But stick around because we're live. So let's see, is anybody watching live? I'm excited because it's kind of like opening up a Christmas present to see. We got 3 people watching. What's up, everybody? Where's my chat window? Where is my chat? Who do we got here? Oh, we got no one chatting. Well, all right. Now we're just going to hang out. Oh, we got 4 watching. I'm going to see if we can get more and more people to join because the title is definitely going to be somewhat interesting because people are still searching that and trying to, you know, start fires in the comment section, and I'm intrigued to see if anybody on that side of the fence joins. We got 5 people in here. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the live stream. Nothing's really started yet, so stick around. I want to open up discussion and talk about, you know, anything, honestly. I titled it The Problem with Not CrossFit just to see if we can draw more people in. What's up, Brian G? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. And just sort of sit here and talk about, you know, what we love, and that's fitness. And then if anybody joins who is either against CrossFit or against moves that traditionally are not acceptable in their world, that's what we're doing right now. But honestly, I have no expectation for too many people joining. 5 is pretty cool, actually, to be honest. When I was streaming video games, 5 was like the normal for me for a little while, and then it finally jumped up to 30 for a little while, and then I stopped gaming completely almost. But how about this, Brian? Do me a quick favor. Send a quick text to one of your friends, drop the link, and let them know, your fitness friends, obviously, and let them know that we're live. The more people that join in, whether or not they want to be a part of this discussion, the better chances I have of reaching others. And the really interesting thing is, we got to stick around for a little while because if I recall, even on the gaming channel, it would take at least 15 to 20 minutes before, you know, my video started popping up on the recommendeds for live chats and stuff like that. So we already lost somebody, but oh well. I mean, it is kind of interesting too because who am I? I'm just big man syndrome, you know. But what's up, Brian? How's it going? How you been doing, my friend? I want to see if I can get the live stream on my phone. That would be nice. Because then I can look at the comments down. Oh, there we go. Got it. Mute it. Cool. Live chat is now in my hands, even though it's not popping off. So, yeah. I wonder if I should do an Instagram post. Because that might be, I mean, my followers. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. We'll do it. We'll see what happens. I'm waiting for there we go. Sort of looking at the camera. All right. Instagram post and rap meow. Rap meow. Trying to get some people to join the video so that we can talk about fitness. Hey, Brian, can you tell me if I sound okay? And if you can hear the music that's supposed to be playing? Because I didn't test this at all. So questionable whether or not it's going. It's like blurry. I also always forget that there's a pretty solid delay in what if I ask a question, you won't hear it for like 10 seconds, so you won't answer. So good to hear that you're great. I'll hold for the other question next. Creation Mindset, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Sound is all good. Hear the music too. Awesome. Perfect. I also just typed thoughtness instead of fitness. Just an FYI. Let's discuss fitness. Hashtag CrossFit. Hashtag fitness. Hashtag. Hashtag live. Hashtag YouTube. Shouldn't be doing this on the live stream because it's boring. I should do this before going live next time. Hashtag calisthenics. Nah. I wish I had a better channel to do this through. Should stick the link in my bio. Oh man, how long has it been? 17 minutes. So hopefully in 3 minutes we get a little bit of a jump. Because then we potentially be in the recommended of fitness enthusiasts. Chilling at 5. I wish I probably could be discussing something while we're waiting for people to join. Like, I don't know if any of you who are currently watching have been in the comments section of the problem with not CrossFit video, but holy moly, I had to respond to so much. And what's horrible is, I wouldn't say it's horrible, maybe just it's interesting to look at, is most of the comments that I've gotten from that are people against CrossFit, which just goes to show how powerful that group can be. There's very few people going on there supporting the idea of, CrossFit and that sort of that Venex's video, but you go to Reddit and post it. Ba, 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 ba. How's everybody doing? Ba 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 da. Nice. That's funny. One of my good friends, Justin Medina, is currently working out and watching. It's one of the 5 that's not talking in the chat room. Nice. Nice. We need more. More. Not sure how to do that. like to call non-CrossFitters muggles. They just don't understand our wizarding ways. It's funny. It's pretty funny though, the names that people have come up with. I had to delete some of them in the problem with CrossFit video because, my gosh, it was just ridiculous. Just do it. Hey, back to live streaming. Yeah, I stopped doing the game streaming because gaming got in the way of a lot of life. The game that I was playing takes up so much time, and you could really spend too much time in the game that I was playing. And then on top of that, I was trying to do an hour a day at least in a stream. And I did try it here, but it didn't really work out that much. I am playing music. Is it not loud enough? I can turn it up just a tiny bit. I don't know that you'll like this music though for working out. Is that might be too loud. Can you still hear me over the music? We got 6 in the room now. What's up? I think Just Do It may have been that number 6. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Games are fun, but it's nice to see you just being you. Thank you, sir. Sweet. Oh, we got 8 in the room. Uh-oh, see? 20 minutes has passed, or 23 minutes, and we're starting to add a few more people. Maybe it's because I posted on Instagram. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's up. We lost somebody. It's all good. What up, people? Tech Gamer Lopez. What's up, bud? Welcome to the video. Video killed the radio star. In my mind and in my heart. Turn it down, turn it down. That's what I figured, Justin. It's not the type of music for working out. Depends on what song it's on. Some of the songs are cool. Some of the songs are just vloggy, so not really made for working out, but for portraying a good workout when doing a cut. All right. Done. Link in bio. Let's edit that. Done skis. What's happening, crew? Now it's a party. I didn't even see that one. What is your favorite named WOD? Well, if I'm going to be biased for ones that I crush, would be Grace. Also considering I've done the... Justin, you know that I can't play Metallica on here. I'd be copyright slapped all kinds. Grace, and as you've probably seen, I did the 300-pound Grace, so that might be my sweet spot WOD. But as far as like WODs that kick you in the butt, although it always sucks for me, Diane I actually enjoy because it's always a challenge. Even though I can deadlift a ton, half ton, I still can't 21, 15, 9, 225 fast. I have to break it up a ton. And the reason why I like Diane as the challenge is because of the fact that, you know, as a tall person, the deadlift is a little bit longer of a movement, takes longer than others. And then the handstand push-ups, while I can do them, it is disgusting with my long arms. The reach screws me. So Grace and Isabel are technically my favorite named WODs because I can crush them, and my goal is to always try to get unbroken, which I still haven't done, I think. And if there was a time that I almost went unbroken. I think I hit 25. I hit myself in the chin on the first freaking rep. That video is way in the depths of the channel. And then my favorite challenging WOD is Diane. Challenging for me, at least. Can you talk about what you have in your garage gym? I have a lot that I haven't used in a while. But I have 55s, 45s, 25s, all Rogue training plates. The 55s are competition from the games, which is super exciting, from 2016. 45s are the training plates with the blue strip, and then the 45s, and then the 25s are the black training plates with the green print. Then I have 2 sets of 10s, I think. Yep. A set of 5s and a set of 2.5s. And then I have a Rogue barbell. I forget what kind. I think it's the Rogue 2.0. I have a fat stubby bar, rings, 25-pound D-ball, 20-pound medicine ball, as well as a 16-pound one that I tried to fill with sand to make it into an 18 for Sarah, and it ended up just spitting sand all over her eyes, which wasn't good. I have a 35-pound kettlebell. I also have I'm not sure what the weight is of the other D-ball, but it also has sand problems where if you slam it too hard, it'll probably barf sand everywhere. And then I have a sled, the Echo, so the smallest one that I have yet to really use the way I wanted to. The reason why I asked for it. I think that's... Oh, and then a pair of 50-pound dumbbells. What's it called? A ring thing from Dave Durante? I think that's it as far as equipment. I have a bench and then a Rogue rack. Crossover symmetry. Seems to never end, even though I thought, and I'm sitting on a Rogue 3-sided box. But yeah, do you have advice for training while having a lower back injury? Yes, because I don't have a specific lower back injury, but I've been dealing with some, I guess you could call it sciatica, or I've had bulging discs, and I think there was a herniation at one point in my high school football days. But really all it comes down to is finding moves that you can do that do not put pressure on your lower back. Obviously, if standing is not a problem and you can pick something up that's light, then doing standing like presses or even just glute activation type movements. Now, obviously, with a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physical therapist, I'm not somebody that can prescribe movement therapy, so I would talk to an actual doctor about this. But as far as somebody who has experience with this, you just have to find a set of moves that you can do consistently, like upper body stuff, or if you have no trouble jumping on an air bike, that's your cardio. A ski erg might be okay, but with a lot of the hinging, you could possibly not injure, but you can make it worse or feel worse, because backs are tender. Typically a low back injury is due to an unstable core or really, really tight hip flexors, so that which makes your pelvis tilt in a way that's not best aligned for the rest of your body, which then causes stress on your spine. So while finding those movements that you can do to get the workout that you want, also look for moves that help strengthen the core around your back. Because, for example, right now, I can tell you, yesterday's burpees gave me a little pinch in the lower back. If I sit on the couch for too long, hanging out with my wife, watching some TV, and then I get up too fast, I get a pinch. This is all because I've let my core relax too much, and I'm sitting in a bad position. And then when I go to move quickly, all the muscles that surround my lower back kind of tighten up in weird ways, and that will misalign everything that's going on down there. So to help fix that, first, try not to sit too long in one position. Always be moving. If you work long hours in a chair or even standing, make sure you take a walk to the water fountain, or step away from your desk, put your stuff down, do some squats, or just stay active. And then strengthen those areas. So glute bridges, doing stretches like a lunge step with a little bit further step than normal to get a little bit more stretch in that hip flexor of the back leg. Stretching your hamstrings a little bit depending on what side is dominant. Whichever side is tightest, you want to try to stretch a little bit. Don't go too far if your back already hurts, because that's something that can re-aggravate or make it feel worse. But yeah, or good mornings are really good, and that can be done with just a dowel, or look up foundation training. That is a really, really good protocol for correcting, fixing, and preventing back problems. Got a long one. I have seen you do handstand walks, and I was really impressed. I can tell you spend a lot of time working on that movement. What skills drills did you do to work on your handstands? That's a really good question. So handstands have always been something that I could do, walking on my hands at least. When I was in middle school, I think probably 4th grade, I saw some kid sprinting across the green grass, did a front handspring and landed on his feet. I was like, whoa, that was freaking cool. I'm going to do that. And after a couple of times of landing on my butt, I finally landed on my feet, and I was like, oh, this is super cool. And then he also did a handstand, and I started just messing around with that. From then on, in high school football and college football, I was that big 6'4", 270 plus pound guy that can walk on his hands awkwardly. And it wasn't until CrossFit that I decided or noticed that, walking around is cool, but what's cooler is holding a handstand for as long as possible. So I went from, actually, I think if you go deep in my videos, I should have this queued up. But there's a video of me at the 13.1 announcement or 13.5 announcement in Santa Cruz. The first time they started to tour with it, and they were looking for people to go up on stage. And this was actually right before I decided to start trying to hold it in place. I was 299 pounds probably. It was like the heaviest I'd ever been. And I was big. I looked big. And it was when that big MC guy was doing the thing, and he's walking around the stage. Who else wants to get a free nano card and do a handstand? And I'm sitting there like, over here. And he's like, he looked at me, but then he was like, no, I'm not going to invite this big old dude on the stage. And I looked, I was like, dude, no, let me. And he's like, all right. So he brings me up and he's like, I'm going to give you a card if you can even hold a handstand for just 15 seconds on your own. Now, the original way it was supposed to work is if I held it against 3 people long enough and beat them, I would move on to the next challenge, like a semifinal. And he thought, man, this is a big dude. There's no way he could do a handstand. I'm just going to give him his own chance. And I held it for 15 seconds walking around the stage, like hobbling like this. My legs were like spread apart. And I was like, it was a mess. It looked bad. My shirt fell down and I was fat. But from then on, I noticed one of my gym friends doing a freestanding handstand where he was just staying in one place. And I was like, holy crap, that's way cooler. So coming to the answer of your question, here are the drills that I did. Really, it was mostly just doing it over and over and over and over again, and watching as many videos as possible on what the proper techniques were from people like David Durant. David? Durante? Dave Durante? He's not David, he's just Dave. And Carl Paley. Paley was the main one at that time because he was the first one that I was exposed to seeing. And learning that, the way I was doing the handstands, I was constantly moving, which I had balance for it, and I was using my hands a lot, but I was staying loose in the elbows, and I was also using my legs for balance. When in reality, when you move anything outside of center, you're actually throwing more weight away from where you want it to be. So I learned from Carl and Dave, feet together, point the toes, and then hollow body. The biggest mistake people make on doing any type of handstand, whether it's a walk or standing in place, is they arch their back and they try to put their heels too far over their head. And optimum handstands will always have the toes and heels almost directly above the head. So doing that and learning to activate everything from hands to toes, and not being loose anywhere. When you get to that point where you feel like you are as stiff as a board and you can find that center of balance, once you find that center of balance and you're pushing, you almost cannot fall because of how centered you are. And as soon as you deviate, you can use literally the strength of your fingers to move back and forth. That's why you see most of them like this, all they do is move from the wrist rather than everywhere else in their body. Because as soon as you move somewhere else in the body, that's when you start to topple over. CF open story. So hopefully that answered your question, I think. Oh, drills. So constantly putting yourself up into a upside down position out in space. If you're uncomfortable with doing that and you constantly fall, go to a wall. First, start with heels against the wall because that's just the easiest way to pop up and hold a position, but it's not the most optimum because you're going to be over your head. But then quickly try to turn yourself around every time you go up there. So walk yourself up the wall, try to get your nose to touch the wall, and push up. I will do another video, a separate video on this, because once I do get myself back in shape, I will be obviously able to do consistent handstands again and maybe press to handstands, and I will do separate videos that comes from a non-gymnast, somebody who may or may not be a pro at this. So, sometimes watching, and this is why I like to do the vlogs, is because I'm not a games athlete, so relatability is a little bit nicer. Like whenever I see somebody who's normal and not a superhero teaching a movement, I tend to listen to them more. Like during the Open, actually, when Rich Froning, Jason Khalipa, all those big guys do like their advice videos, I'm like, all right, cool story, bro, but there's no way I could do what you just said because I'm not you. So I hope to provide instructional videos from a normal guy standpoint. I don't remember that, Justin. I don't remember almost being impaled by your fence at your parents' house. This is where I wish I can go doot, 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 and then show a video of some sort that doesn't exist. That was cool. We only have 8 people watching, but we've had quite the discussion going. Thanks, Creation Mindset, Banjara or Banara, Tech Grammar Lopez, and my buddy Justin, Brian G. It's not a party anymore. I was hoping the title would draw more people, but I guess that topic isn't being searched as much anymore. It's sort of on the dying out phase. And I'm such a small channel still that my reach isn't very good. My reach ain't great yet. Am I a little bit blurry? But anyways. And we're losing viewers now. I gotta put my headphones on so that when I beatbox, it's to the music and not against the music. That's a problem. That's a problem, man. Oh no, everybody going bye-bye. Where are you all going? Alright, well, I guess I'll call it there. It looks like we got people leaving, not joining. Hashtag Girls Gone Wild. These are the elites of the crew. Don't worry about the other people not watching. It's true and not true. It is an odd time for any East Coasters. It's not a good time because it's holy crap, I just realized my laptop battery is like already almost dead, probably because I don't have it hooked up to power. Whoopsies. But anyways, East Coasters are probably close to bedtime or having dinner with family. West Coasters, it's same thing, dinner time. Just got home from work. Not a great time to go live. These are probably going to be better for weekends, and I'll definitely try to do something Saturday maybe next week. Then in the future, like I said, for those who probably weren't here at the beginning, I plan to have maybe guests every once in a while. Maybe Stephen Lopes, because he's a weekend warrior, and at one point before I got sick, I kind of wanted to do a podcast that was like weekend warriors rather than talking to the elites of the world. And talking about what they do working and working out, how do they balance that stuff. It might be kind of a cool podcast idea. Tech Gamer. It's a bad time for me. I live in Chile. So, is it late right now or early? Super early. Or is it midday? Oh, Chile's on West Coast, or East Coast technically, right? Shoot. Thanks for joining then. That's even better. Do I have a computer charger? I don't end it right now. I'm gonna have a problem with the computer dying. And that ain't good. Ain't good, bro. I got one. Got a charger. Plug it in really quick. It's about the same time as PST in Chile. So it's like 7:42 p.m. right now for me. Yeah, charge the computer. Yeah. Get it. Get it, son. So I guess what Tech Gamer is trying to say is no excuses. Join the stream. Oh, Justin, I think I now remember what you're talking about. Recalling the events. Do you have any daily rituals? Not good ones. Right now, that's sort of what I need to separate myself from. And I've talked about this in early vlogs, motivational Mondays, days where I thought that I was being informative when I was really just talking about things that I actually need to do for myself. But like, I don't have any rituals that get me started. Maybe that's what I need to start doing though. At one point I did, get up in the morning and do drip coffee. I have a ceramic drip like mug thing, and that was fun. It just takes so much time to grind the coffee unless you buy pre-ground coffee, and then the drip process is just so slow. But I might get back into that because drip coffee just tastes so much better. It steeps better versus the Keurig, which like literally my coffee tastes like burnt coffee in the mornings right now. I have the Echo cups in the Keurig. Hasn't been good. Hasn't gotten me back into liking coffee, which is why I stick to energy drinks. My original goal was to just go cold turkey, but it didn't work out that way because cold turkey is never a good idea. But I think rituals, is there anything that I do? No, there really isn't anything that I like. Because the way I think of a ritual is something that you do, like walking up to the barbell. Some people will grab the barbell and then do like the twerk motion where they pop the butt down, pop the butt up, pop the butt down, and then they lift. That to me is a ritual. That's something that you do every time to set up something else. So for me, I don't wake up a certain way. I roll out of bed and I'm like, blah, I gotta make breakfast. And then I hang out with Dylan most of the day if it's not a daycare day, edit some video, and that's about it. Shooting the day. If anything, the gym is my only ritual, and that's been on pause for a little bit, and hopefully we get that back together, which so far it's been so good. So good. Just Do It says, committed, hashtag committed. I think having somebody else in this actually will change it up. It'll make it a little bit more interesting. And maybe I'll try to get Neil in here sometime. Or we'll do it in his gym at Extreme. Why do you think there's such a negative stigma given to CrossFit? Comments are nasty in your problem with not CrossFit vid. Because I think a lot of the world outside of CrossFit views CrossFit as the liberal, triggered, let's just all be friends group. And in a way, it's kind of true because we do, as CrossFitters, and this is something, I said in the video, as CrossFitters, we typically say yes to any chance to do another sport. We don't usually talk trash about other sports. We would rather do and actively try new sports. And the real issue, which this is part of the reason why that video has gotten such negative feedback, is because I answered emotionally, which is a very liberal thing to do, rather than sit down and think about it for a while and write down my points and maybe listen to the points of other people first. I just sat down and started a video, and it is true that there is a problem with the consistency of movement standard. When you talk about a competition or the open or something that is looked at by HQ, there is high standard, and for the most part those standards are upheld by the community of CrossFit Level 1 coaches. But you know, if you are a Level 1 is very accessible. If you've got $1,000 in a weekend, you can get your Level 1. The test isn't very hard. They give you all the answers throughout the weekend, and you've got to be pretty you got to be not paying attention that whole weekend to not pass it. So that gives the opportunity to have people with Level 1s that are not capable of coaching, and Level 1s to people who are overqualified for coaching. But that doesn't mean that every single gym is going to hire any coach that has a Level 1. It's still up to the gym owners to hire people that they believe are fit for the job. So that argument is sometimes interesting when people are talking about, like, you know, the coaches are so bad. When I did my CrossFit, it was like they give anybody a Level 1. It's like, yes, anyone can get a Level 1, but not everyone can become a coach. Neil Maddox definitely does not just hire anybody. It took me a full year of training there after having 4 years coaching experience to become a coach for Extreme. He is the most picky when it comes to choosing his coaches. And then, you know, the gym that I was at previously, I saw a trail of bad coaches go in and out of that place as coaches, and it was the owner's, you know, interest to just hire whoever had a Level 1 and could do the job and could fill the hour slot. But what that ends up doing is, you know, when somebody goes to a gym that doesn't necessarily worry about who they hire, they have a bad experience. On top of that, the main issue really is the visibility of CrossFit and how big it is and how big it has grown, the speed of which it's grown, and the number of people doing it in and outside of the gym. So typically, if you go into a CrossFit gym, especially one that has good coaches that's making sure people are scaling and not doing things they're not supposed to, you will find that 90% of the gym is doing things properly. That other 10% are people who are doing things that they aren't ready for. Kipping pull-ups, butterfly pull-ups, toes to bar, handstand push-ups, cleans with heavy weight, squat snatches with decent weight. When they look nasty, it doesn't look virtuous, they aren't ready for that move, and therefore should be scaling down. But, you know, I said it in the video, as a coach, I've run into so many members who let ego play before they let safety or quality play, and at the end of the day, it's up to them to do what they feel like they can do, but I can only recommend. So for those who have been to a gym, which I honestly feel like not enough of the people who talk crap about CrossFit have actually been to the gym and seen it for themselves, we'll see that small percentage and generalize for everybody. You know, if one person's bad, everybody's bad in the group. And then that is tenfold when you go to YouTube and you search CrossFit fails, or you look, you know, at any random Joe Schmo doing CrossFit. Typically they're doing it incorrectly. Well, not typically. Let's just say this, a similar percentage. 90% of the time people are doing it correctly, 10% of the time it's bad. But when you look at the scale of YouTube and viral videos, that is multiplied, because all you see is the CrossFit fail video because it got so many views and it's viral, and now this is CrossFit. Like, the guy who's doing what he thinks is CrossFit because he saw something on the internet at the 24-hour fitness and he's flailing around on a pull-up rig, that's not CrossFit. That's somebody who would like to enter the realm of CrossFit without actually going and doing the due process of going to a CrossFit gym and learning. So that visible template generalizes what, you know, all of CrossFit is. Got a big text bubble. Liberal Seattle Elite, Seattleite affiliate owner here. Couple of things. Try the AeroPress for your morning coffee experience. Awesome. Would love to see Neil join in. Definitely. Also newer to fatherhood, dad bod. What's up, Andrew Bueno? Hell yeah. Dad bod for sure. Babies change your world for sure. I've been having that sort of mental struggle a lot lately where it's like I can no longer do certain things. Like my life is now her, which is great most of the time. Small portion of the time it's like, damn it, I can't do a lot of the things that I want to do. But once I get, Big Man Media, making a little bit more income and figuring stuff like that out, I can have her in daycare and be able to do the things that I need to do to keep myself sane. But anyways, going back to the topic, and then at the beginning of the video, when I did the vlog-ish portion of this to start, I pointed out the thought that typically those who look at butterfly pull-ups, let's have that as an example, will claim that it is not a pull-up because of A and B. And we'll just say A because of the lack of full extension at the bottom, and B because you're flailing around and not actually pulling. When in reality, if you've actually done the movement, there's plenty of pulling, and if you do enough butterfly pull-ups, you walk home the next day and you feel like you did a full 5x10 of strict pull-ups. There's a misconception in some of the movements that it doesn't provide the same benefits, or that it's simply cheating. When it's funny because the fact that people will say that it's cheating, but it is in the rules of CrossFit that a pull-up is simply, arms extended at the bottom and your heels pass, the plane of where the pull-up bar is, and then your chin is over the bar. So any way you do that is a rep. So whether or not you think that's right or wrong, CrossFit thinks that's right. So it's a standard within a sport. It's just like any other sport. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's a sport out there that has a strange rule that you probably feel is not right. Now, when it comes to lifting, I do agree with a lot of the guys who are like, it's dangerous when you have a curved back on a deadlift, but it still counts in CrossFit as competition. But my rebuttal to that is, yes, it still counts, because no matter how you do something in most competitions, the only one is Olympic weightlifting, and that is probably the most scrutinized judgment of a movement other than gymnastics in the world. But even in calisthenics, I point them out because it's Thenex who made the video. If you do a handstand on parallettes and your arms are slightly bent, my stream's probably dead a little bit. Yeah, we're choppy. I don't know why my stream health just died a little bit. Hopefully this uploads. I've never actually checked that before. What? My internet is not happy. My internet's not happy. Come on, come back. What's happening? I think my internet just shit the. Here's what we'll do. Oh, hello. Let's see if that fixes it. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. Come on. Come back to me. And back. How is it good back? What is happening? Oh, I'm seeing the delay. Extremely delayed. Yeah, it keeps pausing. Streaming from. Yeah, what am I? I'm reading my own stuff. Come back. Is it back? Do I just need to refresh my browser? Refresh. Bum, bum, bum. Still says stream health low, but it doesn't look too bad. Looks better than it was. Oh, there we go. It's green. All right, we are now actually back from my visibility too. So, what was I even saying? Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. At the end of the day, I think most of these guys who want to claim that a butterfly pull-up is not a pull-up just need to actually learn and perform the movement. And most recently, it was like toes to bars. There was an Instagram post that was outlining the proper technique of leg lifts, and basically it showed someone kipping, and he was actually doing it well. If you wanted to pull the standards of like doing kipping toes to bar, the only difference change I would make is his legs were bent the whole time, and you want to straighten them out when you do the kip portion. But the post was by somebody and reposted by Barbell Apparel, and it was separated by wrong and right. So it was like kipping is wrong, being isolated strict is right, and there was nothing in the bottom half that said that, which was surprising too, because Barbell Apparel is, was at least a part of the CrossFit community for a while, because it was like perfect pair of jeans for people like me with giant quads. So I commented like, yes, if you're trying to isolate the core and you're trying to, create the most strength building part of it, then yeah, I attribute kipping to lightening up the back squat. If you go for light reps with a high repetition count, that's the same as doing a kipping versus a strict. So for them not to distinguish between the fact that, you can do a strict to isolate, or you can do a kip to dynamically, stretch the body further than it normally would go just hanging, that's where I think the misconception is most people haven't done the actual movement itself to provide a good enough impact. So I like to see them try a butterfly pull-up. Muggles just won't understand our ways. I like how you call them muggles. It's just funny. It's like fighting fire with fire. They call us names, so call them names. I really wish that someone from that world would join our discussion. That was the point of me going live with that title, was hoping that somebody would come in and help change my mind. Taking a page from whatever his name is, Louder Than Crowder, and seeing if we could start an open discussion with some of these guys. Got comments. What are these comments I'm getting on my videos? Oh, it's a comment from somebody. Let's read the most recent comments on the problem with not CrossFit video. I've been having trouble with my interwebs, or my Chrome. Cross shit, no gains. See, I don't understand these types of comments. Like, I should just share. I can share this screen. Let's do this. Windows share. Okay. Which one is it going to be? Yes. This one. Okay. Make it small. Smaller. So, I don't understand this type of comment. It's like all caps, crush it, no gains. It's like, what are you trying to get out of that type of comment? Or like CrossFitters are getting triggered. Like that has no there's zero value add to that it does nothing to the conversation. None of these guys ever want, like, I had a couple good conversations with some people who came in a little hot, and then I responded and they're like, oh my god, he responded, and then we discussed it. That's all I ever want in this world, is like, let's discuss something. Go ahead and throw that away for now. Justin hates CrossFit. You haven't done it the right way to hate or love it. So, if we lived in the same town, I promise you, I can make you love CrossFit. Maybe not love CrossFit, but not hate it. Problem with most who hate or dislike CrossFit is they were introduced the wrong way. I remember you doing Cindy as one of the first workouts I ever gave to you, and you said you barfed. Also, knowing that your lifestyle doesn't typically lend itself nicely to CrossFit. So, I think CrossFit sucks for the first week, but after you've assimilated, it's a great training method. So I think we're still just chilling at that 8 mark. 6 now. Oh, we're back to low video output. Why is this always happening? That's why you left me. That's why I hate CrossFit. No. How am I? I feel like once my computer dies of trying too hard to stream, it doesn't come back. I just want to know why that happened randomly. I'm hardlined to the internet. I get a 500 out, 500 up. It's just ridiculous. We're gonna have to end this soon. If no one else has any more questions that I might be able to clarify. One of the things I do want to try to do in the near future, and I'm hoping that those of you watching right now can help me when that does happen. I will say something in the vlogs leading up to it so that you guys can help me promote it a little bit, is I'd like to start doing pop-up coaching, which basically you will send, or viewers will send, a link to a video of them working out or you working out, and then I will critique it, provide any coaching cues that I can, anything to help sort of fix or accessorize, that's the wrong word, accessory work that will help build a better version of that. So let's say somebody's doing squats, I will provide my feedback on why something might be happening, like the knees diving in or lower back curving at the bottom, stuff like that, strength, movement efficiencies or deficiencies, cycling and stuff like that. So I think it'll be a fun way to interact and allow you guys to provide, because what I've noticed as a videographer, I watch a lot of guys who do cinematography, and they've been doing something similar where you send in a video that you've produced, they provide a critique, and then you kind of get something out of watching what they're doing. So I might try that. We'll see how it works, but I'm going to end it now. My video output is bad, and I don't know why. YouTube is not accepting my videos anymore. It's been an hour anyways, and that's pretty much as long as you should ever go on a live stream. So thank you guys for joining, those of you who stuck around for most of the time. Justin apparently has been here the whole time working out, so hopefully you got a good workout, bro. And hold on, we just found a black widow in my house. I can just imagine right now you and whoever you're working out with are standing on the bench like screaming. So anyways, thanks for stopping by. This was a cool test of live stream. We got to 10 viewers, which is not bad for a first time. We'll try to break that next time with, maybe I'll see if Steve Lopes could stop by for a little sort of podcasty type thing. We'll talk about, his training mixed in with he's works professionally as a salesperson. So he has a 9 to 5, works out at night, and still has to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So it'd be cool to hear from him how he does that and plans to use that to train for competition, and what his plans are for the Open, how he's training. That might be interesting. So stay tuned for that. I think we'll try to do that sometime next week, maybe on his off day. I'll text him and see what's going on. But again, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again next time. And won't be an upload tomorrow. I'll probably keep this video private, and then this will go live tomorrow. So if you missed the beginning part, you can see it. You can watch that part tomorrow morning. So thanks again. See you later.